guys, yeah, Coach Zoe here, and this is going to be your kettlebell core strength EMOM. So we're going to do long periods of work with only a little bit of rest, but all core strength focus, a little on the feet, a little on the ground. So get ready to rock and roll, have your kettlebell nearby, maybe a couple different weights if you have that option. Otherwise, let's get started off with our warm-up. Since we're gonna focus on the core today, we're gonna warm up just a little bit differently than we typically do, so that way we can really focus on activating the back, the abdominals, the chest, the shoulders, and the hips. So all those main muscle group, area groups that are gonna be doing a lot of the work today. Let's take our hands nice and high, reach behind the head, open the chest. Good, and we're gonna fold forward, back up again. So this workout is going to be EMOM style, so that means every minute on the minute, which means there's no transition period. So we gotta work quick. We're only gonna work through 3 different moves. So super simple today, but it's gonna be all right side, left side. So don't you worry. You will get in your work for today. It'll be 6 minutes of nonstop exercise and then a minute of rest, 3 times through, and you will feel great by the end of it. All right, and let's just knock out some overhead squats. We have these in our workout today. So doing them unweighted will help us activate while we're still a little cold. So really focus on keeping those arms long and press backwards behind you. That's gonna really pull those lats into focus. Get as deep as you can. Good, in hands behind the head. We're gonna hinge now through a deadlift, so same thing. Hinging. I wanna take a little time just to warm up every movement we're gonna do. Arm overhead, we're gonna reach for the floor, just like a windmill, still hinging. We do have half Turkish get-ups today. So Turkish get-ups, for those of you that are not familiar, you lay on the ground, you're holding your weight over you, and you get all the way to a stand. We're not gonna stand up, we're just gonna get to the halfway mark. All right, let's get to a plank next. Pull that belly in, let's do a few shoulder taps. Good, and flip it over. All right, half Turkish get up. We're gonna come up, lift up those hips, and come back down, one on the other side. Good, 1 more each. All right, on your feet, we got 10 seconds, quick drink of water if you need it. We're gonna start with overhead squats, putting that bell just on one side. Let's begin. I like to counterbalance with my opposite arm. Notice again, bicep really close to my ear here, okay? We don't want your shoulder hanging way outside. So it's a minute of work at a time, which is quite a bit. So we really want to make sure, okay, that we're taking our time focusing on our range of motion. So notice getting nice and deep in my squat, drawing in through the midline, and pressing actively overhead. I'm not letting my shoulders sink down. 15 seconds. So it is core strength. Your whole body is essentially going to work today, but with a focus, again, on the trunk. Your heart rate's going to kick up a little bit. 3, 2, 1, right away, other side. So same thing. Again, like I said, your full body is going to get some activation today. Your heart rate is going to pick up because, right, we're using large muscle groups for an extended period of time with little to no rest. So not exactly a cardio workout, but you'll feel that heart. Deep breaths. It's challenging to draw inward, so relax your belly at the top, draw it back in for the squat. 15 seconds and switch hands, going directly into a windmill. All right, keep going with your squats. You can hold the weight on the bottom or hold it overhead. Let's begin. So I'm going to take an angle. Notice I'm hinging as I reach down with a little bit of a torque. Okay, so there's some rotation included in this movement. Again, I'm hinging, so not squatting down, push my hips back. The side of the body is going to be reaching for the floor. That knee is going to stick out just a little bit. That's okay. Again, really active overhead right now. Not just letting my shoulders sink down. Excuse me. 10 more seconds. And then again, right away, we switch sides. No breaks, no hesitations. 2, 1, other side. So those Turkish get-ups, we finished the round off with those. Okay, that way we're not worried about trying to get up and down really quick. Again, hinging through those hips, keeping your eyes on the ceiling. So if we get through our first round and you feel like that wasn't as challenging as you'd like, just bump up the weight, right? But because there's a lot of overhead in this, like I said, your shoulders are gonna feel it. Your hips are doing a ton of work. So core focus with that full body is kicking in. Ten more seconds, and then quickly getting on the ground, flat on the back. 3, 2, 1. Take that bell on one side. Keep it directly over your chest. Other hands out. Whatever side has the bell, that leg is up. So we're gonna come up to a seated position, bump the hips, and lower back down. So again, we're just staying on the one side. Boom, bump up those hips, bring it back down. Notice I'm going elbow to palm and pushing through the heel of the flat foot. That's halfway. So if we were to do full, we're getting all the way up. I want to keep it minimally as simple as possible for today. Good, 10 seconds, and then all you're doing is switching hands. Same exact thing. Switch the hands, switch the leg. 3, 2, 1. I'm just gonna switch angles for you here. Let's begin, right to it. So again, holding the bell with the same knee that's propped up. So elbow, palm, I'm up nice and tall. Thrust the hips, back down. Thrust the hips, back down. Right, so remember, our core is the trunk of the body, but our body is not individual pieces and parts. It's one cohesive unit. So when we're doing core strength, we have to make sure that we're activating and using movement patterns that are functional to our day-to-day life. Here for 3, 2, 1, and rest. All right, so that was one round. We have 2 more. So, like I said, not super crazy today. 3 simple moves, all challenging. All right, and we're spending 6 minutes without stopping. So now's your time to get a quick drink of water. If you're unfamiliar with those Turkish get-ups, I keep saying it wrong. It's basically just like a sit-up where we're holding the weight overhead. If that is too hard for you for today, drop the kettlebell, but do the same exact positioning, okay? So just get rid of the weight, or if you have a lighter one, okay? But otherwise, we want to be challenging ourselves, so just get ready to rock and roll. We got 15 seconds. And then we're going back to the top for those overhead squats. So if you have a hard time with overhead squats, get close to a wall, get friendly, face it, and that's gonna keep you honest so you're not diving forward. Starting in 3, 2, 1, let's begin. Again, I like to counterbalance with my opposite arm. And remember, since this is strength focused, we're not worried about getting in 1,000 reps, okay? We're working for a whole minute. It's a nice long amount of time. We're focused on the quality of those reps, right? So we don't want to rush them just so we can get in more. You're gonna feel, as you get deeper in that squat, more activation through that low back. That's normal. As well as in the front of the abdominals, okay? Make sure we're not sinking into the shoulder. We got 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Switch hands, switch hands. All right, let's begin. So notice, make sure your knees don't pinch together. You're not diving to one side. Want to stay controlled. Want to stay nice and even. But again, to counter all that hard work for the low back, you really need to draw the belly in through the squat. $15 more seconds, and then we're switching hands again. Well, it depends, but we're switching over to our windmill, so get ready for the hinge. In 3, 2, 1, let's do it. So again, if we are a beginner, whatever hand has the weight will be the one that goes to the floor, okay? So just be mindful. And same thing, I want to be drawing to that midline. So a lot of times you think that pushing your belly out is good. We actually want to draw it inwards. Create that vacuum. Almost there for 3, 2, 1. Switching sides again. And then we'll be on the ground for those half get-ups. So one of the good things about kettlebells, right, is their shape. So the way that they carry the weight makes these few movements work a little better than if we had a dumbbell. A little more awkward, a little more chunky, and the weight distribution doesn't feel quite so natural, right? The weight is connected to my body with a kettlebell versus a dumbbell, it's farther away, right? Since the weight is on the ends of the grip. Here for 3, 2, 1. Right away. Get started. Same side up on the leg. Elbow to palm. Hip thrust. Back down. Elbow to palm. Hip thrust. Try to keep your gaze also on your hand up here. It's going to help you keep a tall posture. And the reason we're going elbow to palm is so that way our back stays nice and flat and in proper alignment, versus if we were to do like a strict sit-up, we have to round the back, and we want to avoid that. So lots of hinges, right, built into these movements. Almost there. We got 10 seconds. And then right away, switch sides. And then we have our long break. 2, 1, right away. Let's get started. Good, elbow, back, elbow, palm. Good, 30 more seconds, you guys. Stay strong in those shoulders. If you're not used to this, I know you're probably feeling some fatigue right now, right, in your traps, in your delts. Try to push through it. Ten seconds. Almost there for 3, 2, 1, and rest. All right, back on your feet. We have one more round after this rest break, then we're done. So, like I said, super simple workout, 100% core focus. That's why we're not doing a really, really long or like 5-round type of workout. All right, because every single move is really forcing you to activate in different ways, all right? On engaging those abdominals correctly, maintaining steadiness right in the obliques, and making sure that you're not arching or rounding your back too much. So lots and lots of work and things to focus on within just 3 different movements. So plus transitioning the weight side to side, right, makes us off balance. So again, another element to the fitness spectrum that we're adding here. All right, overhead squats, last round, best round. Let's get it done. Belly's in tight, nice tall posture, proud chest. Again, quality of reps. Make sure you're driving those knees apart as you go down. Don't let them pinch together. Almost there. 10 seconds. Here for 3, 2, 1, right to it. Woo! Want to kind of give the head shoulder a break here. Make sure you're digging your heels into the floor. Good, 10 more seconds. Right away to that windmill in 3. One more rep, 2, 1. Let's do it. Windmills now. Again, try to take your view to that top hand. Seconds. 3, 2, 1. Quick switch. Let's go. Good, 20 seconds left, you guys. Stay strong with it. This is our last round. I know it's getting tough. 10 seconds. Good, and right away, Turkish get-ups. Again, same side, arm and leg. Hip thrust, back down, elbow, flat back. Make sure you get your hips nice and high when you thrust your hips to the ceiling. So really dig that heel into the floor. Squeeze the glute at the top. Whew. 10 seconds. Let's try to get 2 more in. 3, 2, 1. And switch. So remember the Turkish get up, right? The decline, just as important as the incline. Okay, so we still want to make sure we're coming down in that controlled pattern. Less than 30. Good, 10 more seconds left. Almost there. 5, 4, 1 more. 3, 2, and 1. Look at that timing. Go ahead, shake it out. Let's start our cool down on the feet. I know you want to sit down. No way, Jose. All right, you guys, very excellent work today. Let's just start with a nice gentle twist. Thank you for joining me. Hope you're feeling good, feeling strong. Again, you're gonna feel a little soreness, a little fatigue in those traps, and probably in the low back glutes. Okay, but remember, it's because we're focusing on the trunk of the body, not just our six-pack abs. Okay, so core strength is so much more than just aesthetics. It's for the functionality of your exercise, your day-to-day life. Woo. Good. All right, and give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed this workout. Let me know in the comments if you enjoyed the simplicity, right? But you still got quite a bit of work in. If you want to see some of these exercises a little more frequently, or something like this more often, or just something totally different I haven't done or I don't do too often, let me know. And subscribe, that way every time I post a new video, you'll be notified. We can stay strong and fit together. Till next time, stay strong, stay tough.